Hello again, everyone. Sake here, and welcome back to NASCAR Racing 2003 season. We are playing the 2019 mod with the 2020 car set here at 2014 Kansas. And on that outside of the front row is Brandon in that wreckingandracing.com podcast Toyota. If you're a NASCAR fan looking for a new podcast to listen to, head on over to wreckingandracing.com and tell them that Saka sent you. So we are ready for 27 very fast laps here at Kansas. It feels like a repave, and it's very, very fast, pretty wide open, and 27 laps will click by very quickly, waiting for that green flag, and we are on it. Green flag is out, and Brandon got a really good jump over Kevin Harvick there down on the inside of row 2. And single file, we're going to gap them a bit. If they can single file out and catch up to us, more the better. We will have to make a pit stop this race, and tire wear isn't really a factor here at Kansas, so we can take care of our tires pretty well. So I'm thinking maybe a 2-tire stop at about lap 13 or so at the halfway mark, but that is 1 lap already in the books, 26 laps to go, and pretty much full throttle all the way around, roll out of the gas just a little bit there, and then back on the gas, maybe a quarter of the way through the turn, and carry all of that speed down this back straightaway. Turn 3's a little bit tighter and a little bit looser, but down to the bottom and pick up the throttle right there. So we're not out of the gas all that long and not even touching the brake. As these tires wear out, we'll see if we can keep down to the white line and see if we can keep up the throttle profile that we have going on here. And Brandon holding back there, he's sparking, we're sparking. Very low on the tire pressures here as the car bottoms out. Throughout this run, those sparks may go away. Depends on how much clearance we have. So far, the clearance isn't affecting the car pushing up or anything like that. Brandon gets a really good run right to our rear bumper. Looking to the outside, will be side by side. And he doesn't keep it to the outside, and he doesn't go to the inside. Touches the wall just a bit. And unlike iRacing, that's not going to be terminal damage for that 27 back there. It's an interesting feeling going from iRacing on our wreckingandracing.com invitational series to race a game 17 years it's younger. And it's crazy to think about. Same base under the hood engine, but a lot of tweaks as far as the damage model is concerned. So we take care of our tires just like we do in iRacing, but the fall off isn't as bad. But what is bad was our exit right there, and Brandon to the inside. We're not going to really contest the spot too awful much. We'll roll out of the gas, give him the bottom, and follow him through that track bar mount. Really scraping on the ground there, really low in the back. That's going to help keep that spoiler out of the air and give us all kinds of frontline speed down this straightaway. Looking in the back, there are a few of the AI cars single filing out, the Stewart-Haas cars, very quick as per usual, so they will be fighting for the win. Eric Almirola doesn't have a win, but he is sitting pretty. Kevin Harvick has a win, Clint Boyer has a win, and the rookie Cole Custer seeming to struggle just a bit, but we'll see what happens by playoff time. And we are on a little bit of a winning streak here. The last couple races, we've got the win. Brandon looking very strong today, putting up very fast laps, going for that win himself. And we'll see what happens throughout the race here. Certainly, we'll settle in for this green flag run. And as we get single file and the whole field single files out, not a whole lot of side-by-side racing. It's mainly single file and fighting dirty air. Although if Brandon runs that higher groove, we'll be fine on the bottom and see if we can get that pull down the back straightaway. As per usual, it looks like we're a little bit better in turns 1 and 2, and Brandon's a little bit better in turns 3 and 4, so we sort of equalize out. We just need to make sure that we exit turn 4 as clean as possible and try to get that sniff off the draft. The laps going by very quick. Will be on the cusp of pit stops before you know it. I don't think I want to come down the same lap as Brandon, as he's got pit stall number 2. We've got pit stall number 1, and I don't fancy trying to drive around him and messing up his exit, messing up our entry. It would be better if we offset our pit by a lap or two. We have plenty of fuel in the tank, so we could go a little bit longer than halfway if we wanted to, if we felt that the caution was going to come out a little bit later. The problem pitting at halfway is if no one else does, we'll be a lap down and possibly trapped there, and without the wave around programmed into the game, we won't be able to make our way back around to the back of the field if the yellow does come out. So we'll do what we can and base off of what we see out of the windshield and the mirror. Now we're catching Brandon a little bit there off turn 4, a little bit sharp on that entry. We have to put a little bit more wheel in. We slow down a bit. Brandon washing up almost into that wall, but carrying that speed down the back straightaway, but within a few car lengths now. Very similar lap times for sure, and it's nice to see that he's not leaving us in the dust. We're holding station pretty close, 1 to 2 car lengths back, and the further gap that we can stretch out from 3rd and 4th place, that will give us some breathing room coming down to pit road. I don't know if the AI is going to get cheeky and try a 2-tire stop, or if they're going to go 4. I guess we'll just have to roll those punches as they come. And if we come down pit road first, depending on the tire fall off here, we'll be able to make up even more time on them if they don't come. So strategy will play a factor into exactly what kind of traffic we get here at Kansas. We were a little loose on corner entry right there, a little bit sharper into turn 1 than I would like. I want to kind of arc turn 1 a little bit better. Turn 3 arc is pretty smooth, but we aren't able to get to the gas. The car washed up right there, so even on the gas we lose a little bit of forward momentum, and Brandon puts that gap on us just a little bit. Looking out of the windshield though, no lap traffic in front. We don't know how fast we're going to catch Brendan Poole and Quinn Houff, usually the back markers of the pack. So far clear sailing for us, and we want to keep that going as long as possible. One particular strategy might be, as soon as we do catch up to the rear bumper of lap traffic, come down to pit road so we don't have to fight them so hard and get the advantage of fresh tires as we do. Of course, we need it to go completely clean and green the entire way if that strategy is to come to fruition. A good set of corners for us there. We managed to catch up a few tenths there, and Brandon really taking that wide line. We're sort of the bottom feeder here, trying to keep our left sides right on that white painted line. Brandon carries that speed through the middle of the corner and picks up the throttle a little bit sooner, which helps his overall straightaway speed. We can get him on corner entry. Corner entry is looking pretty good for us, but as you can see, we weren't able to get to the gas as early. So it all comes out in the wash, just a few tenths separate. Brandon with a very wide arc into turn 3, uncharacteristic. It looks like he's coming down pit road though, so pit stop's already beginning. Brandon will be the first on fresh tires. We will come down this time. We don't want to stay too far out and let Brandon get those new tires put to use for multiple laps while we flail around a bit. Looking in the mirror though, we have no competition out back, which is very good. We can come down to pit road at our speed and not have to worry about getting run over. Kind of a tricky pit road entrance here. A little loose right there. We want to get it slowed down in the straight line as best we can. Right at the cone. And 4,000 in second gear. We pretty much nailed it right on the mark. There goes Brandon leaving his stall. So we'll see if our 2-tire strategy works out. Looks like William Byron has found himself taking the lead here. A few side-by-side battles, but single file most of the way around. But we will do right sides. We didn't slide the tires, so that's all well and good. Right sides on, boys. Let's go. Right side tires are on, fuel is in, down, away, and at the cone, we were pretty much at speed, so we could launch straight away. Now the apron is very loose, very slick, especially on new tires, so we don't want to slide up and do anything stupid. Is that Brandon there coming off of turn 2, side by side with a lapped car. And that may not even be a lap car. The 9 of Chase Elliott, I don't think he would be so far off the pace. But we'll be mindful in case he comes down to pit road. So that is us getting our lap back from Chase Elliott. We need this to cycle through. And you can see that Brandon had a really good entry on pit road and a very good exit. So we had a net loss when it was all said and done. We're going to try to chip into that lead as best we can. And as you can see, the 00 of Quinn Houff comes off of pit road and out to the racetrack. So this will be us trying to put Quinn a lap down. Considering how we didn't see him before the pit stops and how prevalent he is now, he may have taken 4 tires and really brought himself back to us. Maybe 4 tires for some security, possibly. And we're lapping Ryan Blaney here, or possibly getting our position back from Ryan Blaney. It's tough to tell, but it's a good bet with these markers here of Quinn Houff and Brendan Poole that these are going a lap down. And as we cycle through, we should be running in second when it's all said and done. The AI did not leapfrog us during that exchange. We need to get around the 00 pretty cleanly here as best we can. We'll get him down the back straightaway. Caught him about as good as I would have hoped. We'll be able to clear him by turn 3. Brandon going to that outside. I would say that the 15 of Brendan Poole sort of messed up his line, but he's been running up there all day, so perhaps that's where he wanted to be. We really need to start reeling him in and making the most of these tires, though. Brendan Poole is going to make life difficult for us. We'll take the outside and try to get that power down. And it looks like the 95 of Christopher Bell is the next one up on the chopping block. And then, possibly Ryan Newman in that, the Castro colors, perhaps? I believe that is Newman, and then Bubba Wallace in front of him. Brandon gets a really good pull off of Christopher Bell there. No such pull for us. He does push Christopher out to the outside lane. That will help us close up the gap. And by the time we get to turn 3, we're not going to be close enough to get to his inside. So the high line is definitely where we're going to go for here. Try to put the power down as best we can without getting into the gray stuff. And carry that all the way around. Touch the wall just a bit. Thankfully, this isn't iRacing. No crash damage right there for us. And that is Ryan Newman there. Usually very tough to pass, very aggressive. If we can catch him on the back straightaway, we can get under him without much issue. We'll get that pull, and to the inside we go. And Ryan will concede that spot. And we'll see if we can get that pull off of Bubba Wallace as well. And Brandon looks to put down the 96 of Daniel Suarez, and then Corey LaJoie in front of him. So as these lappers are single file, that will sort of help Brandon a bit. It's better than them going double file. We both have to weave our way through them, so it's going to come down to where each of us catches these lap cars. He's to the inside of Poole, and it looks like he wants to go to the outside of LaJoie, and poor Jimmy Johnson not having a good day, about to go 1 lap down here. Jimmy must have really missed the setup or had maybe some pit road difficulty. Very odd to see Jimmy Johnson back here with Chris Buescher and Corey LaJoie racing for position. If we're lucky, perhaps Jimmy can give Brandon a hard time. We are closing that gap up quite quickly, especially on turn entry. And since Brandon had to adjust his line and go to the outside of Johnson, that'll allow us to close up very quickly. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. The race is almost over, and we have 2 turns to get it done. We can really close up the gap here in turn 1 with 34, giving Brandon all he can handle. So turn 3 and 4 is where we're going to have to make it happen. He goes to the inside of Eric Jones. He touches the apron a bit. Let's power around. Force Jones out to the wall. We'll carry that momentum, get the pull off the 13. Coming down to the line. I don't exactly know who got it. I believe Brandon did. Let's take a look at that start-finish line. That must have been really, really tight. And there we go. Margin of victory, about 3/4 of a car length. Let's actually watch that closing rate because we weren't really in striking distance until right here. Brandon scraped up a bit. We were able to carry that speed to the outside, get the pull off the 13 and down to the line. Just didn't have the pull we needed. So Brandon will take his 4th win of the year. We come in 2nd. Looking back to 3rd place, where in the gravy would 3rd place be? Right here, William Byron coming around turn 3 and 4 now. So we had a good quarter lap lead on these guys for sure. So William Byron will come around to take 3rd. 4th place will be Chase Elliott. Looks like 5th place will be the Candyman Kyle Busch. 6th place Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 7th place Brad Keselowski. 8th place Denny Hamlin. 9th place Kurt Busch. And rounding out your top 10 back in the 42 is Matt Kenseth. So a spirited run. Congratulations, Brandon. Let's take a look at the standings after Kansas. Austin Dillon is your cutoff driver, just 1 behind Joey Logano, 3 behind Kurt Busch. And Truex is only 15 points ahead of the cutoff. So pretty tight racing from 13th all the way down to 19th with Brad Keselowski 21 looking out. Chris Buescher more than a race behind, and everybody from 12th up, 1 race ahead. So the battle is really from 13th to 19th as we head to the wide D-shaped oval of Michigan next week. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for the next NASCAR Racing 2003 season video. Take care.